Greetings, everyone. I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to Pickin' Day number 10 of my 30 favorite cover songs of all time. That's right. Each and every day, what we're doing is we're taking a look back at those songs covered by another artist where we think that the cover version is as good, maybe even better than the original version. Today, I'm going to be stretching that a little bit today. So I tried to do some research. I've long thought about this, and until I kind of handpicked this particular song for this episode, did I go to kind of investigate, the original version of this song, which, and again, maybe folks watching can correct it based on what I'm finding. This maybe isn't so much a cover because the guy who wrote the song for this band did not actually record his own version of it till a couple of years later. Does that make any sense? So I guess he wrote the song, gave it to the band recorded it, and then a couple of years later he's like, you know what, I'm going to go record my own version of that song. So kind of in a weird way, his version, the guy who wrote it, his version is a cover of the original. Does that make any sense? It'll make more sense in a minute once I start talking about it. So I'm going to start with the original recorded version, to the best of my knowledge that I can tell, which came out in March of 1969, August of 69 here in the States, March in the UK. Recorded at Morgan Studios in London, England, produced by Jimmy Miller for Island Records, A&M here in the States. The album is Spooky 2 from Spooky Tooth, and the song is Evil Woman. Those of you who know this album well probably know Evil Woman, a song written by Larry Weiss. Now, I don't have a freaking clue who Larry Weiss is, but like I said, I went to go, because I always like to go, if it's like I know it's a cover song or a song written by someone else, I always like to go and listen to the other version. So there is a version of Larry Weiss's, interpretation of the song or version of the song. However, it looks like that was released in 1974. So again, I don't know whether this is something he recorded way back when and it didn't make an album till 74. I don't really know. There's not a lot of information on here, but apparently this guy, Larry Weiss, wrote songs for tons of people. You ever hear Rhinestone Cowboy? He wrote Rhinestone Cowboy, right? And a whole bunch of other things. Very, very crazy when you go and look at the history of this song. So what else did he wrote? He wrote Bend Me, Shape Me, Hi-Ho Silver Lining. Glenn Campbell did Rhinestone Cowboy. And he tons of songs. There's all sorts of things here. And a lot of they're like blues and country things and whatnot. But again, I don't really know, and he's American. Spooky Tooth, obviously a British band. So let's talk more about Spooky Tooth. But anyway, you can go listen to Larry Weiss's version of this, which is fine. It's kind of like this bluesy rock song, although it's in the Spooky Tooth incarnation. It's pretty much a heavy bluesy rock song. So this is the early version of the band featuring Mike Harrison on keyboards and guitar, Luther Grosvenor on guitar, otherwise known as Ariel Bender too, right? Gary Wright, keyboards and vocals. So 2 keyboard players in this band, right? Greg Ridley on bass, of course, Greg Ridley would soon leave to join Humble Pie, and Mike Kelly on drums. A lot of people cite this as the classic lineup of Spooky Tooth. This is a great album if you've never heard it, by the way. Really, really good. And so let me go back. A little story about the first time I ever heard this song. And it's like 9 minutes long too, by the way. This was probably like in the very early 90s. This was pre-internet. So this is maybe 1990 or 91. I was in... Did I hear it on the radio? Was I in a store? I don't remember where I was. I think I heard it on the radio, some radio station. This song came on, and I was like, holy shit, I've never heard this before. These big, heavy riffs, if you don't know, it's like it takes the blues framework and just kind of just amps it up a couple notches. Down, 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 down. Bum, 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 bum. And now the chorus, it's got these big, cool power chords, and you got these wailing vocals from Mike Harrison and Gary Wright, and there's heavy organ, blistering lead guitar solos from Grosvenor, like blistering lead guitar solos. And I remember thinking, this is the greatest song I have never heard before in my life. Who sings it? And then, of course, they never mentioned who the song was. pretty sure I heard this on the radio because it's like I was like so pissed that they didn't list and say who it was. So I was on a mission. I had to figure out exactly who did this song because I had to have it. So I remember I went to, for those of you who, I don't know, it depends on where you live, right? We had this kind of like store here in the Hudson Valley in Middletown, New York called Media Play. It's just this big, record store, media store, whatnot, movies and albums and CDs and cassettes and all sorts of stuff. And they had this gigantic book, which was like lists of all recorded songs and albums and whatnot. And I went one day and I sifted through this thing for quite a while. And I was able to find who recorded this song. First I saw Larry Weiss, and again, at the time, that didn't register at all with me, but I did find Evil Woman. I was like, oh, okay, Spooky Tooth. It's like, interesting. And I went and found the CD. If I didn't find it in Media Play, I had to go to Tower Records, and I bought this. And then I was like pleasantly surprised by how great the rest of the album was. But I was so psyched to get that song that eluded me, right? That song, I was like, and I find it, 1969. Then I found out they do a cover of a Judas Priest song on here. That Judas Priest did a cover of their song on here, which is really cool, which is Better By You, Better Than Me. And I was like, oh, shit, I have that. Priest did that, right? It's like, meanwhile, I kind of knew Priest did a cover song there, but I didn't know Spooky Tooth at the time, right? So, but this got some great stuff on here, Waiting for the Wind, Feeling Bad, I've Got Enough Heartache. But anyway, back to the cover song. It is so good. It's such a great unsung track. And again, me, big fan of like Deep Purple and Uriah Heep, right? That big heavy Hammond organ and guitar thing, and then loving like virtuoso blistering guitar solos, was instantly drawn to this. Then of course I found out that Gary Wright was the Dreamweaver guy and all this kind of stuff. It's amazing, these things, these revelations that you find at points in your life, right? But yeah, the great stuff on here. Hangman, Hang My Shell on a Tree, another really great song on here. The whole thing is really, really good. It's just a good bluesy heavy rock album from this band, and then I would start scooping up Spooky Tooth stuff all over the place and have every album they ever did, and very, very cool band. But yes, this was not their song. The song was written for them, given to them. Again, I don't know whether the original songwriter had recorded his version before it. It's listed as 74 when he did it. I don't really know what the deal is, but so it's either he covered their song, even though he wrote it for them, or they covered or they took his song, recorded it. Whether he had a version already or not, I don't really know. But anyway, that's my pick for today. Evil Woman by Spooky Tooth, plus the story behind me first hearing this track and just going on a rampage trying to find it. Because that was the deal back in the day before the internet, right? If you wanted to find that information, you had to go to books, you had to go to the library, you had to go to magazines, you had to do all, microfiche, you had to go do all sorts of crazy research to go find stuff. Especially if you were looking for music and albums and things like that. It's like it wasn't just a type in something to do a Google search, right? And boom, there it is, all the information you need. No, it was very difficult back then, but I was very, very persistent. I could be persistent that way about a lot of things, right? And I had to find it. I did find it. And then the song's like 9 minutes long. It's glorious. And I'm like, yeah, Spooky Tooth. Love this band. Very, very cool. So that's my pick for today. Evil Woman by Spooky Tooth. Let us know what you think of this song down in the comments below, as well as your pick for today. Day number 10. It is November 10th. We'll see you tomorrow for number 11. Till then, visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, and the Sea of Tranquility membership options all down below. Thanks in advance for all your support, folks. It's greatly appreciated. And we'll see you soon here with more stuff we got coming up tonight. We got a special show. Ken Golden and Steve Feigenbaum were at the WFMU record show in New York City over the weekend. They reported back, showed off the haul that they picked up from. So those of you folks who like to watch record shopping hauls, Steve and Ken picked up a bunch of vinyl and CDs. They've recorded a show to show you all that. There's even a little clip from the fair itself, so you can kind of see the mass of everything, right? So that's coming up tonight. We've got In the Prague Seat tomorrow. We've got later this week. What is later this week? Geez, I don't even know. We got the UK connection this week. We've got Ranking the Albums, and I don't remember what Ranking the Albums is of this week. I need to get on that because, of course, I'm going to be a part of it, so I got to figure out which one we're doing. It might be a solo one. I don't remember what's on the calendar. But, yeah, there's another one coming up this weekend. And more stuff, as always. Professor's Picks. Lots of things happening this week, and I'll be doing more album reviews. I'm really making my way through the stack here, but I do have some things left to do. I've got new Sienna Root live. I've got new Leprous live. I've got Daryl Way's Wolf box set, and a few other things that have come in. I got the new Frank Zappa One Size Fits All box set. I'm just kind of making my way through that. So that'll all be coming this week, so stay tuned for that and more. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye. Oh, and in the prog seat tomorrow. Did I say in the prog seat? Yeah, in the prog seat tomorrow. It's Tuesday. So see you then. Bye.